Tonight, for the very first time, you'll see the magic behind the magic. How one of the world's greatest Shakespearean actors became the greatest wizard of all time. How one of the film's strangest creatures, this little fellow, starts out as this guy. And how a handful of costume bad guys multiply into monstrous battle scenes big enough for the director's imagination. We begin our tour here. You may know it as Middle Earth, but in fact, it's in the middle of New Zealand. New Zealand is the first country on Earth to greet the sunrise every day. But long before dawn, the workday is beginning for Lord of the Rings.
We try to time it so that by the time we've all had breakfast and gotten on the set, the sun's just starting to rise.
We meet up with director Peter Jackson for his 10-minute commute to the set of Middle Earth. Peter, where do you get your energy, for goodness sake? I mean, it's such an overwhelming amount of time and energy required.
Well, I never feel like I have energy, to be quite honest. I always feel tired, just permanently tired, but never tired to the point that I fall over. I guess there's energy in there somewhere.
Across town, our cameras follow star Viggo Mortensen, who plays the reluctant King Aragorn. Mortensen is running errands, flowers for his trailer, before going to the set for makeup.
This used to be an old paint factory. We bought it just before we started Lord of the Rings.
It's a little after 7 when we arrive at the studio with Peter Jackson, who eats breakfast with his production team just about every day.
Barry's our producer.
Hi, Barry. Nice to meet you. That is a table full of Oscar winners you're looking at. Except for Jackson. Hollywood has a history of not giving Oscars to blockbusters or fantasy stories, and Jackson's films are both. His studio, New Line Cinema, hopes this third movie will change all that.
This is a small section of Isengard after it gets flooded.
By 8 o'clock, Jackson is blocking out the first scene of the day.
It'll be good to do a little tighten, I guess, on the zoom, just to kind of emphasize his reaction to that.
Ian McKellen, Gandalf the Wizard, standing in ruins. Remember, they shot the wide shots for all 3 movies at the same time 4 years ago, but Jackson now wants new close-ups.
This wind is building up more and more, but we've only got this bit to do and one other tiny bit, and then we're inside.
8:15, Viggo Mortensen's got into his trailer. His first chore is the one actors often complain about, makeup.
I'm actually terrified of seeing what he does.
He has to add a wig to become a fighting King Aragorn. Curious in an actor, but he doesn't like to look at his mirror. It's covered with clippings, notes, drawings, and a snapshot of Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom, who plays the elf. He says here, Exhibit A, you notice the superior quality of the pointy ear. We saved a pair for you, you human.
Ah, the elf, Legolas. Over the years of shooting, the cast has had a running joke. The elves, elegant and flawless. The humans, blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of mud.
You look terrible.
He's a smelly, stinking human. He was all prissy about the elves because I never got a scratch.
They never sleep. They never seem to get that dirty.
And he was like bloody and messy and beaten up.
They never really missed with their bow and arrows.
There was always another arrow in the quiver. You know, I mean, elves are like superhuman.
Not the easiest people to be around.
No.
So, you know, elf envy. They all had it.
Elf envy or not, they clearly admire each other.
Orlando stands out as, I think, one of the cast members who had to, without the benefit of many words at all, make you believe instantly.
Legolas doesn't speak a lot, you know? He's kind of the quiet type. Because everyone else was saying things and stuff, and I was sort of just the sort of guy in the background going, "What's going on? I'm sensing something."
It's a cast that has certainly grown close. The 9 actors who make up the fellowship of the first movie even got matching tattoos, though the design and precise location remains, as they say, under wraps.
It's kind of like the tattoo is for us, the movie is for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, you can see him being hit by the wind, can't you?
Yeah, it's heavy.
The way he kind of gets knocked.
9:30 a.m. Peter Jackson's been up for 4 hours already, and you can see through his monitor that he's struggling with his wizard and the wind.
The thing that you're looking for now, is it an emotional thing or a compositional thing?
Right at the moment, it's a little bit more tension from Ian.
If it's not one thing, it's another. The Wellington Airport is just over the hill, and the sound of jets just don't belong in Middle Earth.
Cut.
And still, the wind will not leave the wizard's hair alone.
The second you get a bit of wind, and guess what? We're in one of the windiest places in the world.
Harrowing, especially when everyone in your cast is wearing a wig.
It was actually one of the most scary things going into the film, is the idea that everyone had to wear wigs, because often they look so fake.
Fake is something Jackson will not tolerate. From wigs to wardrobe, Jackson has spent millions to create an authentic world. Costume pieces, even a princess's undergarments that will never be seen by the audience, are still crafted to perfection. If the actors feel it's real, the audience will too.
Is that part of the reason why detail is so important for you? I mean, detail down to the threads of the clothes. The actor can believe his part more.
The actor can believe the part and the audience can believe it, yeah.
It's an expensive habit. A lot of the money has been spent here at the special effects factory named Weta Workshop.
Welcome to Weta.
Richard Taylor is the workshop's lord and master.
In the case of the poor hobbits, they have to wear a foam latex foot every day they're on set.
This huge warehouse is a few miles from the main lot. This is where they built the fantasy from the ground up, including talking trees.
Never heard of a hobbit before.
Bringing Treebeard to life was an incredible task. How do you personify a tree? And rather than creating a man-like character with tree attributes, we wanted to create a tree that on second look you could see the face hidden away in the bark. And so that was the design philosophy behind Treebeard's face. He's become a great old friend to us, so it's a hard thought to think we'd put him out to pasture.
We heard this from everyone on the set during these last shooting days. They can't quite believe the world they've been building for so many years is about to disappear.